Good evening and welcome to our Fresno Town Hall. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be with us. First, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Talani Grubel, and I get to serve as the Vice President of Bitwise Industries Fresno. As always, our time is going to go quickly, so I want to give you an idea of what to expect. Tonight, I'm going to give you a brief update on some exciting things that are going on at Bitwise that you might be interested in. And then following that, I'll answer any questions you might have. Before I jump in, though, I want to draw your attention to the Q&A button located in the bottom right-hand corner. Please use this feature to ask your questions. These will come directly to our team, and we'll answer as many as time allows. If we run out of time and your question does not get answered, don't panic. Just please email us at pr@bitwiseindustries.com. So with that, let's get into it. Now, you might recall at our last town hall about 3 months ago that I said that I was very hopeful that we would get back in the office soon. And that was 3 months ago. And spoiler alert, we did not make it back into the office. Although we're all eager to return, we know that this was ultimately the right decision. Right around the time that our team of about 600 people was preparing to return to our offices, we saw a worrying spike in cases and hospitalizations in our hometown. That, plus our current vaccination rate, is what led us to change our plans. Our team has been aggressive in our workplace COVID policies, and we're going to continue to be in order to keep our employees and our communities safe. We'll stay aggressively aware of how these decisions impact our team and community. We have hundreds of employees, 600, like I said before. Some of us, some of us have loved ones that are immunocompromised or are immunocompromised ourselves. Some of them have families who are at a greater risk for COVID, and others have kids at home that can't yet be vaccinated. All of these things are what we're considering. And activating our buildings not only puts our employees at a greater risk, but their families and by extension, our Fresno area communities. Our team will continue to monitor vaccination rates, case numbers, and hospitalization numbers in all of our cities where we have teammates. By monitoring this data, it gives us a picture of the risk of COVID to our community and our team. Once it's safe to return, we will do so, and we can't wait for that day. Although there's some good stuff here. Although our buildings aren't open yet, our cafe windows are. So if you're familiar, we have some cafes at our at two of our buildings. I apologize. Uh, our newly rebranded eateries, Contemplate at South Stadium on Van Ness and Sound Waves at Bitwise 41 on Ventura, both have their service windows open. Our teams are so excited to get back to serving you great food and drinks. Contemplate at South Stadium is open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Sound Waves at Bitwise 41 is open from 8:30 to 1 o'clock. And there's one more thing. Don't get too comfortable with those times for Contemplate, because I have it from a pretty reliable source that will soon be extending our times and our menus for dinner. Now, if you miss those times, don't worry. Follow our cafes on Instagram for all the latest news and menu specials. Contemplate at South Stadium is at Contemplate Cafe, one word, and Soundwaves at Bitwise 41 is Soundwaves Cafe, again, one word. So when you're in the downtown area, make sure to stop by one of our cafes for your next coffee fix or meal. And please, please, just take my advice here, don't sleep on those crunch wraps. They're delicious and filling, and you're not going to regret it. Now, now, one of the things that we're really passionate about here is what we do here and the lives that we're able to touch because of the work that we're doing. We work and we work to help as many people as possible. So it feels really great when other organizations recognize the work that we're doing. Over the last few months, we've been very fortunate to receive a few awards and other types of recognition. The Bitwise team has been recognized by Fortune, Fast Company, PBS, Inc. Magazine, People Magazine, and even our very own KC24. Now, all of that is great, but there are two awards that I want to let you know about specifically because they speak to an opportunity to make our world a better, more equitable place, which is really what Bitwise is all about. Bitwise was awarded the Best Places to Work for Women, and our co-founder and co-CEO, Jake Soberall, earned the Male Ally of the Year award. Male Ally of the Year award. While these awards are great recognition for Bitwise, I often see it as a recognition for the Central Valley and for the great talent that lives in our community. The greatest part of Bitwise is our humans and the communities that we get to serve. So this is my way of saying Central Valley, thank you. And thank you for giving us the opportunities that you continue to give us. Now, before I get on to our next section, our next update, I want to remind you, if you're just joining us, and for those that may have missed it in the beginning, I want to draw your attention to our Q&A button located in the bottom right. I might not be pointed to the right side. It's the bottom right corner. Please use this feature to ask your questions. These will come directly to our team, as I said before, and we'll answer as many as time allows. If we run out of time or your question doesn't get answered, please feel free to email us at pr@bitwiseindustries.com. Now back to some updates. So on some local news, y'all know that we have 4 buildings in downtown Fresno, but most of us haven't set foot in building number 4. State Center Warehouse is located on R Street, just 1 block from Bitwise 41. It's been under construction and the end is in sight. I think we should all just clap that up because that's been a long road and we're happy to be there. As of today, State Center Warehouse should be completed and ready for its opening in 2022. We're in that home stretch of the construction process and we couldn't be more excited. Electrical was recently finished and I've got some pictures to share with you. I think our team has that. So this is outside with the lights all working. Look at that sweet, sweet electrical. This is a big building, 100,000 square feet. And our team is going to occupy some of that top space. And the rest of it will be just like our other buildings. We'll have some tenant space and some community areas that folks can come in and hang out. Now, speaking of construction, I want to give you an update on something that's a little close to home in our hearts, but far by geography. Things are heating up in our Toledo, Ohio location. Now, you may remember that earlier this year, we announced that we'd be expanding to Toledo, Ohio. This is our first national expansion location outside of the state of California, but it won't be our last. Our Toledo location will be in what's called the Jefferson Center. And the Jefferson was originally built as a post office in 1911, and then it became a vocational school in 1970, and it sat empty for about 20 years. We're proud to say that we get to carry the legacy of that building while maintaining it and restoring it to be used in the 21st century. The Jefferson is now under construction, and we can't wait to see what it looks like when it's all finished. Make sure to follow us on social media at Bitwise Industries on Instagram and Twitter to keep up with the construction updates and watch this 1910s beauty get brought back to life. And now coming back to California, we are so excited to announce that not only is construction complete on our 1701 Bakersfield location, but we're also launching the Bakersfield Ignite Innovation Lab. This is a public and private partnership with the City of Bakersfield, the County of Kern, and Bitwise Industries, designed to spark. You see what I did there? It's Ignite, and I said spark. It's designed to spark innovation in and for Kern County. The Innovation Lab will support entrepreneurs in the area, providing them with resources and skills to take their innovation to the next level. Partnerships like this is what we hope to bring to all of our cities. Partnerships that create solutions and jobs for all of the cities that we serve. And speaking of partnerships, we've got an announcement for you. We are so proud to announce a new partnership with Welcome US. Welcome US is a coalition of businesses, government leaders, activists, and citizens committed to sponsoring and supporting Afghan refugees as they acclimate to their new home. We'll have more information on what this contribution looks like, but for now, we're in and we're ready to help. To learn more, visit welcome.us. And now I've covered a lot of information that we thought you'd enjoy receiving updates on, but we know that there's more. So let's move to our Q&A portion of the program. And remember, it's not too late to submit a question, so please use the Q&A feature on Welcome to do so. I'm sure our team is just working out the quirks. It's our first time live, so bear with us. Well, not live, but in person. Still working through it. So apprenticeships. One of the questions that we get all the time is apprenticeships. How do I get an apprenticeship? That's a great question. And the easiest way to get your foot in the door for an apprenticeship is to come in and take one of our pre-apprenticeship classes. There's 6 weeks, it's about $250, and it's a great way to kind of see if you like us and if this is something that you really want to do. Normally from there, people take a couple classes, apply for an apprenticeship, and then the rest is history. So come in and take a pre-apprenticeship class. You can find out more information about that on our website, bitwiseindustries.com. Another question I've got coming up. I've taken some tech classes elsewhere. Can I apply for an apprenticeship? That's a pretty specific question. I'm going to give you kind of a general answer. I think yes. If you feel like you're at a place where you can apply for an apprenticeship, give it a shot. Reach out to someone on our team. I think info at Bitwise Industries is probably the best for that, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Another question that came in: I'm interested in coding, but I do not have experience with it. What classes do you offer? That's a great question. We have a lot of beginner classes, so kind of like website for beginners, mobile friendly for beginners. So you can find the full list of the classes that we offer on bitwiseindustries.com, and just find your way over to the workforce training section there. Another question is, what do classes cost? So as I mentioned before, normally about $250. And if you have any trouble with that, don't let that hold you back. Let's figure out how we can get you to learn these skills. Oh, we got another question here. How can I get financial assistance? That's a great question. We know that the folks that we've served, that's a question that's going to come up a lot. If you find yourself in that position where you want to take a class and you're not sure how you're going to afford it, then reach out to someone on our team and we can help you figure that out. I think the most important thing to us is that we can help you learn these skills, and we'll figure out how to pay for it if that's a real barrier for you. Kind of wish I had a water here. That'd be helpful. Uh, okay, another question here. How does Bitwise anticipate what future technologies will be relevant, and how does it go about training unprivileged populations? That's a great question. It seems like two. So the first section, how does Bitwise anticipate what future technologies will be relevant? We've got a great team. So part of what we do is technology consulting, which means that we have a lot of very talented developers on staff, and part of their job is just to keep up with what's going on. So I think it's the same with any job that you have. You want to kind of stay on the top of your game, and we've got great folks that are on the top of their game. So they're keeping an eye on what trends are happening in tech and what's going to be next, what's coming up. For the second part of that question, how do we go about training unprivileged populations? That's a really important one. So we know that these folks might have some. No, I'm okay. We know that these folks might have some problems that normal populations would not normal. I'm sorry. That's a rude word to use. These unprivileged populations are going to have some issues that other populations wouldn't necessarily have. So we try to be sensitive. So whether that's working with a formerly incarcerated population, that they're going to have some barriers that maybe someone that wasn't formerly incarcerated with, or if we're working with a single moms group, they're going to have some barriers that the formerly incarcerated group wouldn't have. We try to keep an eye and a focus on the humans that we're helping, and work through to provide supportive services for each one. And looks like I've got a question waiting for me. What's included in the apprenticeship program that would not normally be included in a regular class? So that's a great question. So the classes are 6 weeks, and you're learning one basic idea. It's websites for beginners, mobile friendly for beginners, maybe a React class. Did you like how I said React? Like I know exactly what it is. A React class. It's a language, I believe. But the apprenticeship is more focused on it's a 1 year. It's 9 months to 1 year, I believe, where you're working on a skill with a teacher and a team that are all working on the same thing together. So if you're going through and you're doing a solutions engineer apprenticeship, Y'all are working with an experienced solution engineer and a bunch of folks that are in the same spot as you, trying to learn these same skills. And you're working on real life projects so you can learn these skills and get a job in this industry. You're also paid a living wage, and you get some benefits that you would normally get in a job as well. Are you expecting, I'm sorry, another question. Are you accepting new students? Yes, of course. Yeah, please. We run our classes, our pre apprenticeship classes on a cycle. So keep an eye on our social media or our website for updates on when that next class schedule starts up. If anyone on our workforce training is here right now, please feel free to jump into the chat and tell folks exactly when that next schedule of classes starts up. Okay, next question is, I applied for a job and they're checking in. That's a great question, and we've all been in that spot. Um, we are hiring at a very fast clip, and I think there are a lot of folks that would like to work here as well. Um, if you need to check in, I think just reach out to the same people that you reached out to before, and send a follow up email. I think that's the best way to go about that. Next question is co-working in Fresno, Bakersfield, Merced, Oakland. That's all our locations open. All our locations except for Toledo. So is co-working open? Unfortunately, no, not at this time. Co-working falls under the same umbrella as the rest of our team, so we believe that it's not quite a good environment for our team to be back into these buildings, which means that co-working is closed as well. But as soon as it's open, we will share that on all social channels as well as our website. I think they're just processing questions. Get another one in a minute. What do you offer for student memberships? Um, I am not sure what memberships mean. I'm going to say apprenticeships is maybe what you meant. Oh, wait, are we talking about co-working still? Yes. Okay, student memberships for co-working. I am unsure on that. I believe there might be a student discount, but I'll have to confirm. Fastest way to get that answer is to reach out to someone at info@bitwiseindustries.com, and they can get that answer for you. How do I lease a space in Bitwise in a Bitwise building? That is a fantastic question. So the best way to do that is to reach out to leasing@bitwiseindustries.com. That'll get you straight in touch. I'm sorry, I had something in my throat. That'll get you straight in touch with someone on our leasing team who can tell you exactly what kind of space we have available, in which building, in which city, and you can find exactly what you need for your business or yourself. You want to lease a space for yourself? Go ahead. Can I book an event at Bitwise yet? Unfortunately, no. While I am in the John Dodson Theater, I am the only one in here right now that is unmasked. The rest of our team in here is masked because we're still not at a place where we think that our team can come back in and occupy these buildings, which means that if we're close to our team, we're also close to the community at this time. As soon as it's open, we'll let you know. We'll let you know as soon as it's open. Still just processing those questions. They'll come through. Can you rent conference rooms by the hour? That's a great question. I don't believe you can. I believe that you can use them by the hour if you're a tenant, or not even by the hour, but as you need as a tenant. I don't believe that's something that's available to the public, but I can find out more about that. If that's an urgent question, you can reach out to info@bitwiseindustries.com, and they can answer that directly. On one second. Tech consulting question. A client has a tech project we need help on. Can you help? Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do in our tech consulting arm. We work with private and public organizations to build all kinds of technology projects. So if you need help, go ahead and reach out to I think info@bitwiseindustries.com would still be the best one, and we'll be able to get you to exactly the right person from there. Uh, what is your target age range for training? That's a great question, especially because we don't want people to self-select out of that. Um, Generally, we do adults in our apprenticeships just because of the legalities of employing minors. But as long as you're an adult, if you're over 18 and you want to learn, come learn with us. Another question: are you currently hiring in all Bitwise expansion cities? If so, where can someone apply? I believe we are hiring. I don't know if it's all expansion cities, but if you think that you'd be a good fit for the team, and this is a mission that you can get behind, then go to our website, and I believe we have a careers link. That'll lead you to all the open jobs that we have. Uh, Next question is, when are the buildings reopening? That is a great question, um, and we're just not at a spot yet that we can answer that. I apologize for the non-answer. But like I said before, we monitor our case rates in every city, our hospitalization rates, and our vaccination rates. And when those numbers get to a point where we feel like it's safe to unleash our 500 employees and the exponential risk that that means for our communities, then we will open those buildings back up. If I wanted Bitwise to participate in an event I'm putting on, who would I ask? That's a great question. It depends on the type of participation you're looking for. If you're looking for like sponsorships or partnerships, that might be me actually, which you can reach out to info@bitwiseindustries.com and they'll send it to me. If you're looking for some specific event help, then that would probably be our events team. But again, same email, info@bitwiseindustries.com. Give us a little bit of information about what you need, and we'll get you to the right person. Next question: for the classes, do the specs of my laptop work, and can I get assistance with a laptop? That's a great question and a huge barrier to entry for learning these tech skills. Yes, if you need assistance with a laptop, that's one of the things that we can figure out a way to help you with. I'm not entirely sure of the specifics of how we manage that, but our workforce training team is so talented, and they've been doing this for a long time, so they know exactly how to get you what you need to succeed as you're taking these apprenticeship classes or apprenticeships. So if you're in our if you're in the pipeline and you need some help, reach out to info@bitwiseindustries.com. They can help you out. Okay, so another two-parter. What kind of classes are you offering? So, like I'd mentioned before, we've got websites for beginners, mobile friendly for beginners, I believe. We have a React class, and I believe we have others as well. I can't remember them off the top of my mind. I apologize. Again, if we have a workforce training teammate online, feel free to jump into the chat and give them the exact classes that we have. And what can you expect to get out of a class is skills that you can use into the tech industry. So whether you're learning just the basics of HTML so that you can figure out how to begin thinking in code, or you're learning another skill set to add to your resume, you'll be able to learn there through our classes. So next question: what goes into selecting an expansion city? That's a great question. Um, we're just trying to we're looking for cities that are, it's the term we use is underdogs. So uh, cities that have a lot of potential and have well, hold on, that cities that have a lot of potential and may not be getting the attention that they deserve. um, Yeah, that's about what we do. Without getting, I don't think we have an hour to get into really what goes into an expansion city. um, Next question is, what's the vision for Bitwise into the future? And do we see the company expanding into separate industries that are oriented toward fulfilling its original goal? That's a great question. And I honestly don't have a very specific answer for you. I apologize. Um, but I think no matter what we do and where we do it, the crux of what we do will always be serving these underdog cities and these underserved people, and teaching them the skills that are needed to thrive. Okay, we've got last question. What is included in the apprenticeship program that would not normally be included in a regular class? So think of it as what you're learning in 6 weeks on a very specific topic, and what you can learn in a year, plus all of your experience in that topic. So you'll definitely learn all of that. So imagine you're taking a 1 year class where you're learning, how to be a solutions engineer, or how to be a coder, or a QA apprentice. But on top of that, you're also going to learn soft skills about how to work in a company, how to present, and all of those things. So it's a huge difference, and it's totally worth the investment and the time. And I think that is all the time we have. Thank you all so much for coming in and spending time with us. If we didn't get to your question, and you still want that answered, obviously, reach out to us at pr@bitwiseindustries.com, and we'll be in touch. Thanks so much. Have a great night.
You're caught up in nothing, wasting your time, ain't chasing stars. You live in the moment.